Hello and welcome to my channel. So this video is a little bit of a late entry for me this week. That's okay. I still wanted to get it out before this weekend, and this particular issue was kind of like old news, or I don't know, before we get any new news about this. Earlier this week, we had the VMAs, and while I don't watch the VMAs, I definitely stay tuned into social media to see what people are talking about when it comes to the VMAs. And people always talk about the red carpet. I believe some notable outfits, notable people on the red carpet. Number one for me, I loved Megan Thee Stallion's look. I didn't see a lot of the other looks, so let's be fair there. But really, I love her look because you can tell she's been putting in a lot of work on her body. And that is very inspiring to me. And any day now, I'm going to do the same. Any day now. I also liked Cardi B's dress for the red carpet. I felt like she definitely elevated it. When I think of the VMAs, I just don't take them that seriously, I guess. When I was younger, I probably did. I remember being really excited about them whenever Beyonce performed there in 2013. But whenever I see somebody showing up in like a real serious dress, to me, this is like a serious dress. I'm just like, oh, you definitely raised the bar on the carpet here. And speaking of the bar on the carpet, someone that people were very vocal about having lowered the bar was Sukiana. She got on the red carpet like this. And now there has been some talk about her not actually being on the red carpet, but doing a staged photo shoot because she couldn't get on the red. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not that plugged in, but I will say that there were a lot of town halls. If you're ever on TikTok, you know, people can they can do a live, and you can have all these people that chime in and give their opinions. And there were a lot of town halls about Sukiana respectability and how she was damaging the image for all Black women. And my thing is, you can think what you want about her. That is not how I would have gone down the red carpet, should I ever go down one. I don't know why she thought she had to do that or why she wanted to do that. But I also know that her doing that doesn't reflect on me. Sukiana doesn't take away from Megan. It doesn't take away from anybody else, any other Black woman who was on the red carpet. Sukiana is doing what Sukiana is doing. And I think it's a very dangerous way of thinking to constantly be so diligent in hyper surveilling what Black women do with their bodies, because you're assuming that, okay, if someone sees this, they'll think all Black women act that way. It's just, that's not true. Or I should say that's not always true. It's not true enough to where people should not stress themselves out about it the way they do. But people were very stressed, very disappointed in her. Another young lady who was on the red carpet that was of notice to people was Miss Halle Bailey. Now, this time last year, we were having a completely different conversation about Halle. We were very much so focused just on her becoming the Little Mermaid and the pushback and criticism she was receiving for being the first Black, or for being a Black mermaid after a history of having a white mermaid with red hair. Here she comes. And there was a lot going on right about now about people wanting to substitute her. I remember there was this video going around Twitter where someone was like, when the movie comes out, it'll take no time for us to go in and with AI turn her into a white mermaid frame for frame, and we're going to sell this video online instead. People were saying they did that. I don't know if they ever actually did that, but I know that that was something people were threatening to do. So that was a conversation that was happening about her, this time last year. But this year, there's a very different conversation, and it was spurred on some more by her appearance on the red carpet. I am actually looking, as I'm researching, just looking at social media for this video, and I don't see any pictures, like in a random Google search, of Halle Bailey red carpet looks. Like I see Chloe Bailey, 2023. I see Halle Bailey from years past. You can see normally she wears like a tighter outfit, but I don't see any pictures of her from this year on the red carpet. All of them are, she's on the stage, she's sitting down in the audience. Very interesting. Very interesting. I was not aware of that before this. I thought that she had posed on the red carpet, but it looks like, or on the black carpet or whatever they had, but it looks like that wasn't the case from this research. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but from this research, from a Google search, from a 10-second Google search. But yeah, I guess she skipped it, and just Chloe did it by herself, and then they met up in the awards. So yeah. So as you can see here, Halle Bailey is in kind of like a Grecian style dress. It balloons out. It is not form-fitting at all, especially compared to what Chloe is wearing. And it's an interesting choice. She is, by all accounts, a young woman with a very nice body. I like the dress. I would probably wear something like this. But I don't have rumors going around that I might be with child. And her wearing this dress on the red carpet did nothing to help those rumors. In fact, what it did was it made a number of people hyper-focused and somewhat obsessive over whether or not that dress meant that she was pregnant. And where do they get this from? Why are people thinking this? Well, if you have been under a rock and you haven't been paying attention to every little piece of information that happens on social media, I will tell you, it is this video right here of her walking around in the background of her boyfriend DDG's house. And from how she's walking and her mannerisms, it, to the naked eye, to people who we don't know, but it would seem as if she was with child. There were other videos captured of her at other red carpet events. I'm not going to show those, but I will say that there is some evidence to this idea. In fact, the evidence to this idea is so strong that a couple of weeks ago on the show, I think it's Fox Soul, I think that's what it is, the one that Funky Geneva helps co-anchor on, they were talking about the subject, and the evidence not being owned up to by Halle herself made him so upset that he went off on her and off on her sister Chloe Bailey. I know we all remember how mean and vicious he was to Chloe. So this is a problem for a lot of people. Halle's pregnancy or possible pregnancy is a big issue, not only because she's not being 100% honest with her fans, and some people think that people have a right to know, which, just to take it back to Fox Soul, I really appreciated Claudia on that particular interview because she said, or on that particular video, because she said, no, people don't always have the right to know, and they shouldn't know. When you think about what people will do with some of your private information, we've all been in situations where that has not always worked out. They don't need to know everything. And especially if you're a pregnant woman, like, I understand wanting to protect that. But people do believe they have the right to know. And so they're kind of overzealously invested in this possible pregnancy. But there's also a lot of disappointment. And I think this goes back to feeling as if there is an ownership over Halle and her development as a woman from the community that she is supposed to represent. Also, she's literally a Disney princess, and she's so young, and she's at the beginning of her career. And so a lot of people view her becoming a mother now as a failure of just a fail to choose, fail to properly plan your life. And they're angry about it. I have seen a lot of videos. I have read some tweets, and there is a lot of anger about the fact that Halle Bailey might be pregnant. There's also a lot of anger about who she might be pregnant by. So I did not even know. You guys know I might look younger, but I'm actually an elder millennial, the elderest of the elder millennials. And I had no idea what a DDG was. Someone had to explain it to me a couple weeks ago. They were like, he is a YouTuber. He does the content. He has he does a lot. And he started off in the social media space. And he was involved with another young rapper a little while ago. And then he became involved with Halle. And I also know that he has put out a song or two about wanting to trap her, being jealous of her, or something like that. But a lot of people seem to believe, and they have evidence as to why they believe this, that she is not with the right person, especially not with the right person to be having a child with. And I was talking to somebody about this one day, and they said, well, realistically, who is Halle going to date? She's this young Black actress. Like, what are the types of men that she could be involved with? And I suggested Marcus Scribner. I don't know what he is. I don't know what he is doing right now, or if he's with somebody or not. But I think for Halle, with the kind of career that she's had and the kind of public persona that she has, a nice young man like this would be a wonderful choice. And weren't they on the same show for a little while? Grownish, was he on there with her? I don't know. But my point is that I could definitely see where people are coming from, where they're like, we wanted more for her. However, I don't understand why people wouldn't understand then, with all this anger, with all this disappointment, with all this hyper investment into what she's doing with her body, I don't understand why people wouldn't understand that she's not going to say anything. If she is indeed with child, the social media audience, the world will be the last to know. I think Halle is very aware of her brand. I mean, not only as like a wholesome, gentle, very feminine, very sweet singer and actress, but also as a literal Disney princess. I think she's very aware of that brand. And I think she's very aware of the fact that if it falls apart, she could have a really high price to pay. I also think that it's unfortunate that she is involved with someone who would still upload the video. Like, I'm trying to figure out, whenever I do a video, I go back and I watch it. And if there's anything in the video that I know that I'm aware of will embarrass me, I delete it. Now, that's not, that I'm aware of is a big thing. What I just said, it's a big part of why I've made mistakes when it comes to social media, because I'm not always aware of what's embarrassing. I'll look at something and I'll be like, this looks good. Let's do it. And it's not until I go back and watch it or someone else watches it and they're like, girl, what is that? That's when I realize, oh, I should not have. Okay. And, a lot of that is just trial and error. It's learning. Social media has a rough learning curve. However, you have to know that your girlfriend in the back waddling around is going to create conversation. And if I was him, after I recorded that, when I went back and looked at the footage before it was even uploaded, and I'm trying to figure out, and I'm not sure, and I'll look it up before I post this, but it wasn't a live stream. Was it something that he absolutely could not have kept off the internet because it would have given her away? And speaking of that, keeping that in mind, this is why I personally advocate for anyone who does things in the public eye. If you're a public figure, if you create social media content, if you're an actress, if you're a singer, whatever, that you have a partner that is more private. That you have someone who's like, yes, I upload or I update my social media once every three years. What about it? That you have somebody that has a career in a completely different, or just moves differently. I actually, and his fans don't like this, but I actually really respect Bad Bunny, because he is he's keeping his private life under lock and key. He posted, I think a couple weeks ago, a bunch of things to his Instagram story. Then he took those down. You may see occasionally he posts something, from his life. There was this TikTok he posted where you can hear him saying in the background, "Mommy, be careful, the mosquitoes," or something like that, to Kendall Jenner. But for the most part, he keeps his private life private. And I think when you are a superstar, when you are a high-profile talent and you have a brand to protect, everybody who is around you should understand the depths of what you are and what absolutely cannot get out, because it would damage that. The reason why people are in an uproar right now is because someone on her team was sloppy, and that someone happens to be the child's father, hypothetically, if there even is a child. Halle Bailey makes me wish there were 10 more Halle Baileys, because one of the reasons I think people are latching on to her so tightly and they're so heavily invested in whether or not she's with child is because people feel like we don't have a lot of her to go around. She is supposed to be this. She's supposed to be this. She's supposed to be this. And they've got her up on this pedestal. And I have found, just in life in general, if there's more options to pick from, it's less likely you put one particular person up on a pedestal. But also you have people that are just really special. Like, there is one Beyonce. There's nothing you can do about it. But keeping Beyonce in mind, she was very, very protective of her brand and of her potential and of how she grew as an artist and as a person before she became a mother. I remember her saying, I don't think it's a good idea for anybody to get married or have kids before 25 because you don't really know yourself yet. And of course, there is studies to prove that. Your frontal lobe doesn't even fully form until you're 25 years old. So your brain isn't even fully grown in, and you're making certain types of decisions. I don't know what's true. I have seen videos. I have seen content, but I don't know what's true. And all I will say is that for her sake, I hope she keeps her body, her potential pregnancy, if that's the case, her future with this young man. I hope they keep it off of social media as much as they can, because if this is true, and if it is true, and there is some evidence. But if this is true, then, well, she's going to have to cut her comments off until that baby is 18, because people are not going to let her. They're not going to let her rest. This is the potential to be very, very stressful for her if it is true. So for her sake, I just hope she has people in her corner that are helping her navigate it. It seems like she does, because not a single person has come out and like confirmed it who we can actually respect. And they're also doing a really good job of making sure she's photographed correctly when she does post things to either Instagram or even to YouTube. She posted a video a couple days ago. Well, we think it was a couple days ago, but it might have happened sometime in the past. You never know. And I wish the best for her, because she is a very special individual. She has done a very special thing for media, for Black women's representation in media. And for her to be associated with this other thing, this darker thing, this unwed mother with a man who is maybe not what society would agree up to her caliber, at least character-wise. No, we don't know this young man. We don't know. We know he's made certain choices as far as how he presents himself publicly, but we don't know him. That won't stop people from speaking down on him, but we don't know him. But I know that is something that often Black women have to deal with or contend with, is having a partner who's maybe not equally yoked to them. And so she's associated with that possibly now too, which is unfortunate. So what do you think, if anything at all, about the Halle Bailey obsession? I just wanted to talk about it real quickly because it's heating up. It's heating up. And I just remember that this time last year, we were discussing something completely different about her. And like I said, I have seen the content and the videos are out there that would suggest this is not just a rumor. And I just wish the best for her. And I hope, that's where I'm at. I just hope the best for her regardless. Please feel free to let me know how you feel in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.